Deal on a new contract with flight attendants. The agreement heading off a possible strike. Details of the deal not being announced. Northwest president saying the agreement will allow the airline to save the money it was seeking. The flight attendants must still vote on the deal. Our next news break comes for you at the bottom of the hour. Hannity and Colmes returns after the break, right here on the most powerful name in news, Fox News Channel.
Top Story is brought to you by BP.
What do you think cars will be running on in the future?
Grass, leaves, trees, garbage.
Hydrogen fuel cells.
Give me that solar car, I'm there.
We need to really be conscious of what we're putting into our cars, just like we put into our bodies, and we need to make that shift that, well, what we're doing is really messing things up. We need to make that change.
For design to be truly inspired, it must be more than just artful. It must perform beautifully too. Now at the Infiniti Limited Engagement Summer Event, test drive the Infiniti M or FX and ask about our attractive lease and finance rates. But don't wait too long. The Infiniti Limited Engagement ends July 31st.
Здравствуйте. Здравствуйте. Здравствуйте.
Здравствуйте.
Здравствуйте.
Здравствуйте.
Здравствуйте.
Правильно, здравствуйте.
Thank you.
Дэвид?
Здравствуйте.
Здравствуйте. Рад познакомиться. Nice to meet you.
Тяжелый, устали, конечно. Ну, сейчас девочки сделают. Хотите кофе?
Ну, девочки, знакомьтесь, это Дэвид.
Здравствуйте.
А это наши сотрудницы. Вы должны быть для них, для всех системы CRM, ERP, Database Management, окей?
What's the international language of business?
PC, Server, Windows, окей?
Да.
Software everyone understands. Microsoft. Software for the people-ready business.
The Audi Q7, the SUV from the creator of Quattro.
Fox News Channel, bringing you the
There are
news.
some Katyusha rockets landing just behind.
Live as it happens.
Only Syria makes a rocket like that.
Investigating all points of
This
view.
is a different war than Israel has ever fought in the past.
Researching, getting you the background.
We're going to destroy every Hezbollah target.
Finding out what it means to you. Daytime, prime time, anytime, 24 hours, 7 days a week. Only one puts the news in perspective. The world's events in context. Only Fox News Channel.
And welcome back to Hannity and Colmes. Just earlier, we spoke to former Speaker of the House, author of the book, Winning the Future, by the way, now available in paperback, Newt Gingrich. Your comments that this is World War III has gotten an enormous amount of play, both in the nation and around the world. Can you explain that?
Well, I think there are two parts to it, and I'm delighted to have a chance to share this with our audience. First of all, if you just look at a map of the world and you say, the North Koreans have been firing missiles. There were 7 bombs that went off in Mumbai, India last week, killing over 200 people. There is a war going on in Afghanistan with northwest Pakistan as a sanctuary. There is an Iranian, Syrian, Hezbollah, Hamas alliance, and it is both waging war on Israel from Gaza and from South Lebanon, and it is helping in many ways, along with funds from Saudi Arabia, sustain the war against the Americans and the Iraqi people in Iraq. The British Home Secretary has said that there are 20 terrorist groups in Britain with over 1,200 members. The Canadians picked up 18 terrorists recently who had acquired twice as much explosive power as was used in Oklahoma City bombing in 1995, and the terrorists had talked among themselves about capturing the Canadian Prime Minister and beheading him. And finally, in the United States, you had 7 people videotaped in Miami pledging allegiance to al-Qaeda to overthrow the American government, and you've had a plot, apparently in 3 different countries, to come together to bomb the tunnels in New York City. Now, so first of all, it's clearly worldwide. I mean, what I just described to you is an initial survey of a worldwide war. But the second point's equally important. It is a war. We have active enemies actively trying to kill us, and we have to see the violence in the Middle East in the context of an active war. And being Americans, we prosecute wars to win them, not to have reasonable response, not to have appropriate levels of retaliation. Our theory is you start bombing our cities, we're going to defeat you and make it impossible.
Mr. Speaker, I agree with all of what you've just said. I have absolutely zero disagreement. We even had earlier today one of the Iranian leaders calling Israel satanic, a cancerous tumor. Ahmadinejad's comments about annihilation. We're watching an unfolding situation where these rockets are falling deeper and deeper into Israel than ever before here. So if we really believe the root cause is Syria and Iran, what has to be the response of the United States, knowing that the world community basically has a history of appeasement, and we see this even, I think, in the early days of this conflict. You know, Israel must restrain itself while under fire.
Well, that's part of what led me to speak out so decisively and so clearly, because here you have a situation, as you know, Fox News reported during the day today, over 50 missiles hit Israel today. Now imagine that missiles being fired from Cuba were hitting Miami. Imagine there were 50 missiles hitting South Florida. Do you think that we would say, oh, let's have appropriate response, let's have restraint, let's be careful? No. We would say clean out the people who are doing this.
Doesn't the world, especially the United States, have a responsibility to see that this doesn't become World War III?
Well, Alan, this is where I think maybe we don't completely agree with each other. I don't think we have any choice. When you have bombings in India, you have war going on in Afghanistan, you have war going on in Iraq, you have a war going on in Gaza and South Lebanon, you have Syria, Libya, and North Korea actively plotting to defeat the democracies. You have Ahmadinejad, the leader of Iran, saying publicly he wants to defeat the Americans and eliminate Israel from the face of the earth. You have people plotting to blow up New York tunnels. You have Canadians plotting to blow up the Canadian Parliament and behead the Prime Minister. My point is, we're in a war. We need to understand this isn't an option. This isn't some diplomatic moment to wring our hands and hope that Hezbollah will become more mature. We have to defeat the terrorist, and we have to replace the terrorist-supporting governments. And that doesn't mean we have to go to war with Iran. It does mean we have to use the kind of strategy we used in Poland, in Czechoslovakia, in Romania, in Hungary, in Ukraine, to help the people themselves get to a democracy and replace these terrorist states.
Your rhetoric, Mr. Speaker, is even very different than what the president is saying. The president said at the G8 summit that Israel has to be aware. He said they have the right to defend themselves, but they also have to be very aware of the consequences of their actions. Is he wrong to make that statement?
Look, I'm speaking out because I believe if the President of the United States had 50 missiles hit South Florida today, he would do something decisive. He would not show restraint.
We'll continue more with former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich in just a moment. Also coming up tonight, former Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will tell us just how far Israel is willing to go, and then our military analyst will detail the threat Hezbollah poses to Israel and to the U.S.
This program is brought to you by ServPro. When fire damage strikes, call the cleanup experts at 1-800-ServPro.
Water in one room can mean water damage in the walls and ceilings of other rooms as well. So call the water cleanup specialists at 1-800-ServPro, like it never even happened.
eLoan's loan consultants don't make money based on the rate of your loan, so you get the rate you deserve. No wonder home buyers are so excited about eLoan. That's just one of the revolutionary ways we're changing the lending industry. eLoan, radically simple.
6-speed short-throw gearbox, a sport-tuned suspension. Start making summer memories fast. The Mercedes-Benz Summer Event. See your local authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for a great lease offer on a 2006 C230 sports sedan.
Here's to men, to guys who want to take longer drives with fewer pit stops, to guys who want to spend less time in the men's room and more time fishing. And here's to Flomax. It's approved to treat male urinary symptoms due to BPH, also called an enlarged prostate. In 1 week, Flomax may help symptoms like going often, going urgently, weak stream, frequently waking up at night to go. For you, Flomax could make a difference in 1 week. Ask your doctor if symptoms are from BPH, not prostate cancer. Common side effects of Flomax are runny nose, dizziness, and decrease in semen. Upon standing, a sudden decrease in blood pressure may occur, rarely resulting in fainting. So when starting Flomax, avoid situations where injury could result. For more information, call 877-4FLOMAX. Ask your doctor about Flomax. Flomax could make a difference in 1 week.
Are you sick and tired of being cooped up inside? Are the dog days of summer getting you down? Are your Friday evenings dull? Do you want to spend some quality time outside being entertained? This August, the City of Beaverton and Comcast are presenting the annual Flicks by the Fountain movie event. Join us in downtown Beaverton at Beaverton City Park for an outdoor movie presentation under the stars. Flicks by the Fountain is a free family event on 4 consecutive Friday evenings in August. Bring your blankets and low-back chairs to enjoy the movies, but please leave your pets and alcohol at home.
You're gonna love saving 13% over the phone company. Switch to Comcast Digital Voice and get unlimited local and long distance with 12 great calling features plus voicemail for just $39.95 a month. Comcast Digital Voice. It's Comcastic. Switch to Comcast Digital Voice risk-free and get all your Comcast services on one bill.
Newt Gingrich.
If we look at the world reaction, if we look at the G8 reaction, the UN reaction, the EU reaction, specifically countries like Italy and Greece and France and all around the globe, the call for restraint, do you see a similarity? Is there an analogy to World War II and the rise of Nazism?
Well, sure. I mean, can you imagine after Pearl Harbor, if countries had urged us to be restrained in defeating Nazi Germany, Fascist Italy, and Japan? We would have thought they were out of their minds. I think that this is why I think we need to have this argument. We need to say, this is not a temporary violence.
Why is there almost seems it's a mystery to me. I cannot for the life of me not understand why people don't see it in these terms for what it is here. There's an unwilling, a mysterious reluctance to see the truth in all of this.
Look, part of it's because of the language that leadership uses. People have talked about the 5 or 6 days of war. There have been 58 years of unending war trying to destroy Israel. Hezbollah has been very clear. The leader of Hezbollah described Israel as a cancerous growth. He has said publicly and clearly his goal is the complete elimination of Israel. They have said publicly, and we've known for years that the Iranians were building up all these missiles, and we did nothing to stop it. And I think the time has come, first of all, for the United States to say to the Lebanese government, we will help you reclaim South Lebanon. We will help you defeat Hezbollah. For us to say to the Israelis, finish the job. Don't be restrained until you finish the job. And to say to Syria and Iran, we will not tolerate any more interference in Lebanon from the terrorist alliance that you have forged.
Speaker Gingrich, if you're going to use rhetoric like World War III and America being involved in World War III, and then you said a few moments ago that doesn't necessarily mean we have to be militarily involved, but doesn't that ultimately lead to that? If this is what this is, as you're expressing it, doesn't that mean at some point American military involvement? And are we prepared for that?
If the alternative is to have a North Korea with nuclear weapons and missiles, an Iran with nuclear weapons and missiles, a Syria actively allied with Iran and with terrorism, at some point down the road we have to face that. But I think there are so many steps, Alan, that Ronald Reagan taught us we can have such a huge impact with firmness, with decisiveness. And the only place I've suggested that force needs to be used over and above Iraq right now would be to help the Lebanese, who are a democratically elected government, have the military capability to defeat Hezbollah. And we proved in Afghanistan that relatively small numbers of Americans with air power can have a decisive effect in enabling people that we're allied with to win. And I think with American help, the Lebanese government can in fact defeat Hezbollah. And I think that we should challenge the Europeans to join us. Here you have a democratically elected government, despite the assassinations by the Syrians who were trying to kill the advocates of democracy in Lebanon. And I think that the world has already served notice through UN resolutions that we will not tolerate Syrian interference in Lebanon. And I think the United States should be prepared to say to anybody willing to help it, come help us. But the first goal should be not a truce. The first goal should be to get rid of the 13,000 missiles and get rid of the 400-plus Iranian guards and make South Lebanon responsibly reporting to the government of Lebanon, at which point there will be no threat to Israel from South Lebanon.
The Seattle Times is reporting your World War III comments and also saying you've said to them that Republicans facing fall elections, the party has to have the nerve to nationalize the elections and make it about a liberal democratic agenda rather than the president's record. Are you suggesting that one should politicize what's going on now and make that a reason to elect Republicans?
Not at all. I think that the issue of being in the middle of World War III, the issue of what do we do to survive, the issue of how do you deal with a North Korea, which when told by the United States that there would be unacceptable consequences if the North Koreans fired off missiles, chose our 4th of July to show how much contempt they have for diplomacy. In a situation where the Iranian dictator has said he wants to defeat the Americans, and the Iranians have already said they're not going to accept any restriction on getting nuclear weapons, I think we need a national dialogue as Americans, not as Republicans or Democrats, but precisely in the experience of a world war, to say, what do we do as a people to defeat the terrorist alliance worldwide?
Benjamin Netanyahu is next.
Lincoln Mercury has some of America's hottest selling new models. And to celebrate, every 2006 Mercury car, SUV, and minivan has the hottest deals of the summer during the Lincoln Mercury Celebration Clearance. Get the 32 MPG Milan, winner of the Best Midsize Car Award. Now lease Milan with 0 first month payment, 0 down, and 0 cash due at $257 a month. Don't miss the Lincoln Mercury Celebration Clearance.
Bedhead, proof that you've experienced the new Hampton bed. A plush comforter, a crisp white duvet, and choice of pillows. You'll be well rested and ready for anything. Hampton, home of the proud bedhead.
Interest rates keep climbing, and so are your monthly payments. Refinance your adjustable rate mortgage with LendingTree and save as much as $250 a month. Call 1-800-555-TREE now to lower your monthly payments. When banks compete, you win. Rates are climbing higher, and so are your interest payments. Refinance your adjustable rate mortgage with LendingTree and save up to $3,000 a year. Call 1-800-555-TREE now before rates climb even higher. When banks compete, you win.
Office Depot, a leader in mobile technology, can build a notebook computer to the most important specs of all, yours. Office Depot will customize a notebook to help you go wireless wherever your work life takes you. Now build an HP Pavilion with Intel Centrino mobile technology and an all-in-one printer starting at $499.99 after mail-in and instant savings.
Taking care of business.
Why do I like working here? I'm part of something big. I'm part of the future. I bring people together and send smiles, literally. Michael's my son. We have a good time together. Michael thinks my job is pretty cool. But what I like the most is that Verizon Wireless works as hard for me as I do for our customers. Through our tuition reimbursement program, I earn my certification. As I grow, the company grows. I am Diane Mundy, Verizon Wireless Project Engineer. It's very exciting to be part of something like this.
At what point does a car do more than take you from point A to point B? When does it come to life? When does does it become your co-conspirator? When does a car become more than just a car? Introducing the all-new 268 horsepower Toyota Camry. It's time to move forward.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Harris Faulkner. World leaders wrapping up business at the G8 summit with something to say about North Korea's missile tests and other matters. Fox News correspondent Megan Kendall is live in our Washington bureau tonight. Megan?
Hi there, Harris. Yeah, the summit ended today, and while much of the attention was on the Middle East, the world leaders did make progress on a number of other issues. On energy, the focus was on oil prices, the G8 leaders agreeing to push for more oil production globally. They also hope to improve the transparency of oil-rich nations when it comes to supplies and reserves. British Prime Minister Tony Blair said the group also advanced the Doha round, trade talks designed to help developing nations like India and Brazil compete with rich nations, but which until now have been stalled. The leaders called North Korea's recent missile tests a serious threat to peace and urged Pyongyang to abandon its nuclear weapons program and return to six-party talks. This just days after the UN Security Council passed a resolution imposing weapons-related sanctions on North Korea. The summit's host, Russian President Vladimir Putin, said he was satisfied with the event. Putin's been under pressure to stop rolling back democratic reforms in Russia. At the summit, he agreed not to change the Russian constitution to allow himself a third term in office. Harris?
Megan, thank you. Our next news break is just after the top of the hour. Hannity and Colmes returns right now. For all the latest headlines, go to our website, foxnews.com.
And this is a Fox News alert. There are reports coming in tonight that Israeli warplanes are once again striking positions in Lebanon. Loud explosions have been heard and black clouds are rising from the suburbs of South Beirut. Now, there are also reports of a strike in the eastern Bekaa Valley. We're going to keep you updated with the very latest details throughout the show right here on the Fox News channel. And meanwhile, tonight, the Israeli border town of Kiryat Shimona is in a state of severe emergency. We go now to Fox News Channel's Bill Hemmer. He's on the scene with the very latest. Bill.
Sean, good evening, or I should say good morning, about 4:30 local time here in northern Israel. Kiryat Shimona is our location. Again, you mentioned these Israeli warplanes. We have heard them periodically throughout the night, and it appears, based on our location here, that they're flying at lower altitudes than what we had heard and had viewed about 24 hours earlier. That being said, moments ago, the Israeli fire continues to leave northern Israel, firing into southern Lebanon. You can hear these rockets be released, and then there's this crackle of the afterburner that echoes throughout the valley here in northern Israel. Also getting word just about an hour ago, more rockets fired from Hezbollah into northern Israel, the town of Nahariya, which is a coastal city just below the southern border with Lebanon. Throughout the night, though, if you go back 5 or even 6 hours, dozens of rockets landing again in northern Israel. This is the Katyusha variety. They do not have much accuracy. It's basically a pot shot in the dark, and based on our understanding locally here, a number of those rockets landing in fields. A few injuries reported, but no fatalities here in Israel as a result tonight. There was one report on Monday, Sean, that said 25% of Hezbollah capability has been knocked out. Even if that is the case, they apparently have plenty of punch again tonight. And we were with the Israeli army for a good part of the day on Monday. They work in large part of a flat field about a mile, maybe 2 miles from our location here, firing those 155 millimeter mortar rounds deep into southern Lebanon, maybe 5 miles deep, a range anywhere between 15 or 20 miles maximum capacity for those munitions there. Now, the number of rockets into Israel has decreased steadily. If you go back over this conflict over the past week, last Thursday had maybe 300 landing in Israel. On Friday, it was 250. We have not approached that number yet. But if it is the case that Hezbollah has anywhere between 10 and 12,000 rockets, by no means could they be finished at this point. On Tuesday, much of the news cycle will be driven by the United Nations and the delegation that's expected to arrive in Israel after high-level meetings in Beirut, Lebanon on Monday. And now we move to the whole discussion about how this current conflict can end. What will the sides and all parties agree to? Is a ceasefire good enough for Israel? Will Israel demand that Hezbollah is removed 20 miles from its northern border here in the town of Kiryat Shimona? And what of those 2 Israeli soldiers who really kicked off off this whole operation just about 7 days ago. Ehud Olmert, the Israeli prime minister, addressing his people and his parliament on Monday, saying that if you return those 2 soldiers, perhaps we can talk about ending this conflict. I mentioned the time, 4:30 local time. A day will break here in about 90 minutes, and when it does, Sean, day 7 of this current conflict will be underway. We're live in Kiryat Shmona. Much more as we get it here as soon as it happens. Sean, back to you now in New York.
Bill Hemmer tonight. We turn now to the former Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu. Syria are behind these terror attacks. We know that they have supported these terror groups from the very beginning. Can you win a war on terrorism without regime change, more specifically these 2 terrorist regimes?
Well, ultimately, I think there's a far bigger terror threat hanging over all our heads, and that is if Iran acquires the weapon of ultimate mass terror, that is atomic weapons, this will create a sea change in the world, certainly in the Middle East, but in the world. And I think that President Bush's intention, announced intention that he would not let that happen is very important. In the interim, I think knocking out a Hezbollah stronghold in Lebanon can do a great deal to push back Iran's aggressive designs. Iran and, of course, Syria, which is a way station for Iran in supplying rockets and other deadly weapons to Hezbollah or to their other proxy, Hamas, in the south. Israel is now girded with Iranian enclaves, Iranian-supported enclaves, Iranian-directed enclaves, and Syria takes a part in helping both Hamas and Hezbollah with logistics and with weapons. But the important thing, I think, is to show the kind of resolve that the people of Israel are showing right now. They're united. They're withstanding horrific assaults on our cities. We're losing civilians, but the people are strong. The opposition is now united with the coalition. We stand together and we say, well, we're not going to let you win. We're going to prevail.
Mr. Prime Minister, I want to talk about the urgency and the significance of this from a number of different perspectives here. Number one, the missiles and the rockets that are being fired, as you point out, on Israeli citizens are getting deeper into Israel than they ever have. The rhetoric, Hitler-style rhetoric, is getting more shrill and more bitter and more talk of, quote, the annihilation of Israel. You couple that with the desire and the pursuit of these weapons of mass destruction. Is there an urgency? Is there a difference? Has this taken on a new meaning for Israel in terms of finishing the job and getting to the root cause of all of this?
Well, I think so, and I think the root cause is first the desire to destroy Israel. After all, we left every square inch of Lebanon, so they have no reason to attack us. We left every square inch of Gaza, so they have no reason to attack us. But if you listen to what they say, they're quite open about it. They don't want Israel to exist, period, in any border, regardless of where we are. And that's just the first target. Remember, we're the small Satan for the Islamic terror octopus. Its center is in Iran, but it has these arms, these octopus arms in Hezbollah, in Lebanon, in Hamas, in Gaza and elsewhere. And it really sees you as the great Satan. Iran is arming itself with nuclear weapons right now and with long-range rockets that far exceed Israel and ultimately are destined to reach the eastern seaboard of the United States. You're the great Satan. We're just merely your little brother here. We're the little Satan. And Europe, though it doesn't know it, it's the middle-sized Satan.
Mr. Prime Minister, it's Alan Colmes. Thank you so much for coming on our show. We appreciate it very much. You have Italy, France, you even have the Vatican urging restraint. The President of the United States says Israel has to be aware of its consequences. Should there be no limit to Israel's reaction to Hezbollah and Hamas?
There is a limit. We're not using even a fraction of our firepower, and we're taking pains as best we can to minimize civilian casualties, which are all incidental and none deliberate. Obviously, we're showing restraint. Look, when the United States was attacked by terrorists, it went and obliterated a regime in Afghanistan, and rightly so, and it did other actions, and rightly so. No country can allow its citizens to, its main cities to be rocketed. Imagine what would happen if Chicago, which is like Haifa, our third largest city, Chicago would be rocketed by a terrorist enclave, a state within a state across the border in Canada. You think the U.S. would show restraint?
The Lebanese Prime Minister on the Fox News channel earlier today called Israel killers, reiterated his desire for a ceasefire, said the attacks are destabilizing his nation's democracy and will lead to further extremism in that region. What's your reaction to that comment?
Well, with all due respect, I think the Lebanese Prime Minister probably cannot say on Fox what he's probably saying to his closest confidants, that he hopes that Israel will win the war against Hezbollah because his government has no meaning unless it does. There is no Lebanese sovereignty as long as there is Hezbollah sovereignty in Lebanon, because in fact they're doing anything they want, supported by two foreign powers, Iran and Syria. The Lebanese army doesn't do a damn thing to dismantle them. And in fact, they're running the show there. So we can speak of a Lebanese government in perhaps an all but name. It's not a government. It is subservient to Hezbollah, and Israel's action to dismantle Hezbollah would not only serve the cause of security for Israeli citizens, it would also serve the cause of Lebanese sovereignty for millions of Lebanese.
And we continue in just a moment with former Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. First, we check in with Greta Van Susteren, standing by for a sneak peek of what's coming up in 20 minutes from now on a very special On the Record tonight. Greta.
Sean, we have the whole story covered all over the region. We have reporters reporting live from Israel and Lebanon. We have Shep Smith, Greg Palcott, Amy Kellogg, Jennifer Griffin, Bill Hemmer, and we have so much. Plus, we're going to take you on a trip inside the State Department to show how they're handling the evacuation of 25,000 people. We went to a top-secret location in the State Department with our cameras. Now the viewers will, too. Back to you.
All right, we'll be watching us On the Record tonight, right after Hannity and Colmes. Coming up next, are the terrorists of Hezbollah acting on their own, or are they taking direct orders from Iran? We'll have the latest.
What happens if reducing stress reduces accidents too? Because we consider what might change tomorrow, our customers can feel more relaxed about what might happen today. Zurich, because change happens.
Dear Dr. Z, my class is learning about the environment. What are you doing to help?
Well, class, this Jeep Liberty diesel gets 26 highway miles per gallon. And we're building a flex fuel Commander and Grand Cherokee. Plus, coming soon, the world's cleanest diesel. They're our cleanest 4x4s ever.
It's a joke.
Is that mustache real?
Get employee pricing plus 0% financing on 2006 Jeep vehicles. If not satisfied, simply return it within 30 days.
So, John and I are thinking of going to Cancun, if we can find a good deal.
It's funny. So are Dan and I.
It's time to play Take On Orbits. Today's players want a total vacation, hotel plus flight, and must save over $300. Go.
I need a deal to Cancun.
Oh, that's outrageous.
Done. Congratulations. Thanks.
It's that easy.
Save $75 instantly on Orbit's already low prices during the Super Summer Sale. Just Orbit's and go.
The German word for safe is sicher. The Portuguese word for firewall is muro de fogo. The Chinese word for password is mima. My company's in 17 countries now, and I can say secure in every one of them.
Dynamic networking from AT&T identifies security threats before they're problems, so Jane's confidence grows right alongside her company. The new AT&T, your world delivered.
Your risks are always evolving. Shouldn't your insurance stay in sync? Travelers.
A 7-speed automatic transmission, a 268 horsepower engine. Start a summer romance that lasts a lifetime. The Mercedes-Benz Summer Event. See your local authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for a great lease offer on a powerful 2006 E350 sedan.
We now continue with former Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Say Israel's united. I understand 2,000 took to the streets in Tel Aviv on Sunday in a very big peace demonstration. Is that accurate?
Gee, I didn't notice. I have to tell you that, if you look at all the people I talk to and all the opinion polls, this is overwhelming support for a powerful response. How would you feel if, for no reason, your homes would be rocketed, your neighbors murdered, maybe your relatives, maybe your own son or your grandmother and her grandson, for nothing? Absolutely, not only for nothing, for the declared purpose of wiping out your state and your country. I mean, this tends to unite people, believe me.
Much has been written, Mr. Prime Minister, about the captured Israeli soldier, which is what touched this off. But the international press has also reported that there was a killing of 7 family members on a Gaza beach on June 9th, after which Hamas called off its ceasefire. Which, in your view, is a precipitating event here?
I think that the tragic loss of a family in Gaza was a projectile that had been there that probably took off. It was not actually an offensive Israeli action or even a defensive Israeli action from all examinations that we took. But I think there's an asymmetry here. Israel left Gaza. Israel left Lebanon. Why are they fighting us? You ask, what is precipitating this? The answer is nothing that Israel does. It's just Israel being there, breathing. The fact that I'm standing in front of you right now, breathing, speaking as an Israeli citizen, as a citizen of a Jewish state in the heart of the Middle East, that's for them an unacceptable provocation. And they say that they will, as they deny the previous Holocaust, they're preparing a new Holocaust for 6 million Jews. Now that cannot happen.
Mr. Prime Minister, I think one of the questions for the United States is, are we, the United States, going to have to, in the future, near future, perhaps in the distant future, be at war with Islamic fascists, terror regimes like Syria, like Iran? And if the answer to that question is yes, we're going to have to be at war, that they're at war with us, that they attacked us on 9/11. You're dealing with these terror groups today. Isn't it better to make the decision for the United States to engage that before they have nuclear weapons?
I think that's the crucial passage point. I think all of this, what you see now, is the prelude. It's the promo to the real show. The fact that Israel is now being rocketed with no provocation right into our cities by these proxies of Iran tells you that if they had nuclear weapons, these people would have no restraint whatsoever. They would use that deadly power, the power of mass death, to intimidate and to threaten and probably to kill a lot of people, not only in Israel, but far and wide. And I think that is a very dangerous development. It is a watershed development that we must not reach. And therefore, the American official policy that says Iran shall not be allowed to arm itself with nuclear weapons is really the right approach to prevent the greatest terror of them all, something that would make the kind of things that we see today seem pale by comparison. So it is important indeed for the future of the world, for the future of America, for the future of peace, for the future of Lebanese, Israelis, Palestinians, you name it, for our common future, to prevent Iran, which is the genesis of so much of what you're seeing today, from acquiring atomic bombs.
With this constant call for Israel to restrain itself, do you see similarities? Do you see an analogy with past instances of world appeasement, World War II, totalitarianism, etc.?
Yes, I do, because I think this unbridled fanaticism is similar in many ways. It's a new Nazism. It's a new form of Nazism. It doesn't put race, but a twisted view of the Islamic religion as its credo, and it's willing to just go to any lengths and to throw out, just jettison any moral restraints and use the most extreme barbaric force to achieve its twisted goals. So yes, I see a similarity there, and yes, I see a similarity in the tepid response from some quarters.
Hezbollah next.
We know he's alive. 9/11 showed us what human beings are capable of. But it also brought out the goodness we forgot could exist. People taking care of each other.
Not leaving you. You are our mission.
For no other reason than it was the right thing to do.
World Trade Center, rated PG-13. Starts Wednesday, August 9th.
My life is more than I expected, so it's a good thing there's Caltrate. It does more than I expected.
Introducing new Caltrate, now with more vitamin D. It helps keep bones strong and your colon healthy.
Bring it on.
New Caltrate, more than you expect.
Have 50,000 going once, twice, sold to the gentleman in the center.
I want to go ahead and sell it now.
Constantly buying and selling stocks doesn't make much sense either. That's why Edward Jones advises clients to buy long-term investments.
Had it with slow downloads? With Comcast high-speed internet, there's no waiting for downloads or a great deal. Call 1-800-COMCAST and save big during our $1 sale. Get 1 month of blazing fast Comcast high-speed internet service for just $1. Free modem lease for 1 full year and professional installation for only $10. Save over $175. Hurry, the $1 sale ends August 7th. So call 1-800-COMCAST today.
Specialty bedding sale.
For the first time, save 30% on air beds, latex mattresses, and NASA design memory foam.
That's right. Adjust your own firmness or experience total pressure relief at huge discounts.
And why pay at Christmas when you can get no interest and no payments for 1 full year? If we can't beat any price on any comparable mattress, then the mattress is free.
It's not too late to sleep like a baby. Mattress World.
Mattress World, off I-217 on Cascade Avenue, next to Burlington Coat Factory.
24/7. Come.
New Prudential real estate signs.
Now with Yahoo, very powerful. You'll need to reload.
More than usual.
Our exclusive relationship with Yahoo Real Estate has produced this. Now you can show your home sellers how many buyers are looking in their neighborhood, in their price range.
Even viewing their home online.
The future of real estate is in your hands.
Prudential Real Estate and Yahoo together. The future of real estate now.
It's how you find PD Exposed on demand.
Oh, and how do you do that?
Well, with your Comcast digital cable remote, you click on Channel 1, click on Local Programs, then click on CW14, and then...
Click on PD Exposed.
Exactly.
Yeah, but do you think these guys can figure that out?
PD Exposed is brought to you by PDX Magazine, Portland's Where to Go, What to Do guide, featuring live music, restaurants, nightlife, local sports, and latest trends. Pick up this month's issue today or download your free copy at pdxmagazine.com.
As a proxy of Iran and Syria, but who exactly is Hezbollah? Joining us now, Fox News military analyst, Lieutenant Colonel Bill Cowan, Major General Bob Scales. Colonel Cowan, Party of God, Hamas, Hezbollah, who are these specific groups?
Well, basically, Sean, Hezbollah is an organization that started in the early 80s in Syria with Syrian help, but with the Iranian Revolutionary Guards really providing the training in the Bekaa Valley. Hezbollah started to mobilize better, ran the attacks against the U.S. Embassy, U.S. Marine compound, and other things. And then as they started to gain terrorist-related power in southern Lebanon, they became a political arm, too. So there's two parts to them. There's the terrorist military side, and there's a political side with representation in the Lebanese parliament.
Colonel, what does it mean to you that they now have these longer-range Iranian missiles that we know have been used?
Well, look, Sean, these guys do get all the support they need from Iran and Syria. Indeed, they are the operating arm, as I think somebody said earlier, the operating arm of Iran. I think most Americans, in my judgment, should clearly understand that the Hezbollah forces are around the world. It's not just what we see going on in southern Lebanon. They have operating cells in virtually in every continent, and here in the United States this year, FBI Director Mueller said 6 members of Hezbollah captured coming across the southern border.
Hey, General Scales, it's Alan Colmes. This guy Nasrallah who runs it, is he crazy or is he crazy like a fox?
A little of both, Alan. He's a very charismatic figure. He's supposedly a descendant of Muhammad. He's extremely popular among the Shiites in Lebanon. He wields an enormous amount of not just military influence, but also political influence. He's sort of the Ayatollah, if you will, of Hezbollah. And he also is a fairly shrewd strategist. He knows what he's doing. He realizes in order to win this war, he has to avoid losing, and he's going to do everything in his power to do just that.
And he's saying he's doing this without Iranian help. Is he just saying that for PR purposes? Is he outright lying to the rest of the world when he says that, General Scales?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he built a 100-kilometer range precision ballistic missile in the back alley workshops of South Beirut. Please. This is purely an Iranian-sponsored, financed, trained organization. They're the last truly competent army or military entity in that region who can challenge Israel. Israel knows that. This is their last shot, and they're going to give it everything they have.
All right, we're going to have more on this coming up. Thank you, guys, and also what the United States' involvement will be. We'll have full coverage throughout the week here. We'll have more on the crisis in the Middle East coming up in just a moment. Please stay with us.
Mercury has some of America's hottest selling new models. And to celebrate, every 2006 Mercury car, SUV, and minivan has the hottest deals of the summer during the Lincoln Mercury Celebration Clearance. Get the 32 MPG Milan, winner of the Best Midsize Car Award. Now lease Milan with 0 first month's payment, 0 down, and 0 cash due at $257 a month. Don't miss the Lincoln Mercury Celebration Clearance.
As a kid, I used technology to help people do better. Today, Scottrade does the same for online investors. If you've been thinking about moving your account, this is the perfect time to come to Scottrade. With powerful trading tools and fast, accurate $7 trades, Scottrade gives you more for your money.
Pure Dell. It's an uncomplicated approach to creating more loyal customers. With enterprise database solutions, you can scale as you grow, and they all run on new Dell PowerEdge servers, featuring the reliability of dual-core Intel Xeon processors, which makes everything easy to manage. So you spend less time minding your servers and more time minding the store. That's the direct path to success. That's pure Dell.
Hey, it's Sleeping Beauty.
Didn't sleep a wink.
I know, we've been waiting for you. Have the chess set already?
He cheats.
Hello, Honest Abe.
Whatever.
We just haven't played for so long.
I know, I just got all this stress at work.
It's cool, it happens to a lot of people.
Really?
Absolutely. More than half of adults report experiencing some kind of insomnia at least a few nights a week.
We just want you back.
Thanks, guys.
When you can't sleep, you can't dream. That's why there's Roserum, the first and only prescription sleep aid that in clinical studies shows no potential for abuse or dependence. Take it when you need it, stop when you don't. Your doctor can explain why Roserum is so different. Don't take Roserum if you're taking Luvox, fluvoxamine, or have severe liver problems. Avoid taking it with alcohol. Don't drive or operate machinery until you know how you'll react to Roserum. Roserum may affect some hormones. Consult your doctor about how this may affect you, or if your insomnia doesn't improve. Take Roserum right before bed. Side effects may include drowsiness, fatigue, and dizziness.
Just talk to your doctor.
Today,
with a 5-star crash safety rating, the smooth-riding Mercedes-Benz M-Class is safe no matter where you sit. The Mercedes-Benz Summer Event. See your local authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for a great lease offer on a 2006 ML350.
Finally, we leave you tonight with some images from today's events in the Middle East. like to believe this is not the beginning of World War III, as Newt says, and that with Condoleezza Rice going there, hopefully we can move toward a settlement to stop the killing.
This is World War III. Appeasement hasn't worked. It didn't work when they gave up areas of Lebanon and Gaza. You cannot negotiate with terrorists. They have an unmatched fanaticism. They must be defeated, and the United States
Not talking about appeasement, but there has to be some kind of a settlement.
There won't be.
Greta Van Susteren is coming up next. She is here to go on the record. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.
Al-Manar, Hezbollah's TV station, is reporting a new Israeli airstrike hits a military base near southern Beirut. And there is more shelling, bombing, and explosions. It's gone from bad to much worse, even if that is possible. The death toll climbing, and it's not just soldiers who are dying. Everyone is in the line of fire. Let's go straight to Fox News anchor Shepard Smith, who is live in Kiryat Shimona. Shep, what's it like there?
Well, you know, the strange thing, Greta, is that even at this time of the morning, there's first light over the Golan Heights behind the camera. It's still dim, but it's early morning, and the sun will rise in an hour and a half. And even at this hour of the night, Hezbollah has launched yet another of its Katyusha rockets that hit in Nahariya, which is just closer to the sea, but certainly right along the Lebanon border. And that is just unheard of for these Katyusha rockets to go up in the middle of the night. The reason for that is, Greta, at least until the last few days. The reason for that is the Israeli Defense Forces can spot those and take the positions out so easily. I was talking to Jennifer Griffin earlier tonight, one of our veterans in the region, who said that the level of escalation on their part, the boldness, the brashness of their attacks is something that no one had seen, and quite frankly, though they knew it was possible, it really wasn't something that people had anticipated. This striking on Haifa time and time again with promises that they can in fact strike down in Tel Aviv has a lot of people wondering here how long this may go on. The hope is that this UN delegation will come in, maybe get a little softening going, and then get Condoleezza Rice in here and try to turn the diplomatic tide. Tonight, though, there are really no signs of that, Greta.
You talk about the UN delegation and Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice. I mean, do people really think that that is going to be the answer to this dispute? This has been going on for so long, Shep.
Well, you know, I think that the locals here believe that the one answer to this is to put down Hezbollah, to put them in a position where they can no longer attack their neighbors. Israelis are firm in this position. They got out in 2000. They moved out of Lebanon, exactly as had been asked. And for 6 years, they've stared across the border and watched as Hezbollah mounted there. Granted, it's a new and fragile democracy over there. It goes without saying that their military could simply not handle Hezbollah at the time because of the fractions and the different way that their government has shaped up and the different portions of the government which were given to different ethnic backgrounds. At any rate, they couldn't handle that on the southern border. The question was there going to be an opportunity for UN forces to go in and fix this problem? There have been opportunities for years now. Then the taking of those soldiers, and many here say, well, as awful as this is, we see it as an opportunity to end this problem once and for all. And as you go up and down this coast and across the Lebanon border, person after person, man, woman, and even teenagers are saying, look, this is the opportunity. Hezbollah has to be eliminated now, its ability to cause trouble for its neighbors. So far, that hasn't happened. The belief is they've launched just more, Greta, than 1,000 Katyusha rockets, and the Israeli military says they had 13,000 when all of this began. Now, how big their weapons are and how many of the larger, more capable weapons they have really remains to be seen.
Shep, in the time you've been there, and I know that you haven't had any sleep, you and everybody else covering this over there, have you seen any indication that Hezbollah is giving up or weakening in any way? Because it seems, at least from this side of the world, that it's just getting worse.
No signs of that whatsoever. Not yet, anyway. Now, there is a belief here. I think it's widely believed here that there's no way that Hezbollah can hold out. Right now, they can't get resupplies. It's widely believed that Syria and Iran in some way are puppeteers here and are supplying them. They have the amount of supplies they have. But how you would get any more supplies into Lebanon is beyond me. The airport's closed. All the roads in and out are closed. There's no way to move even from one city to another. Resupply is simply not an option, which means if you have 5 dozen eggs and once they're all eaten, there are no more eggs. And that's sort of how they're thinking about weapons on the other side of this border tonight. What nobody seems to know is how long that may take. And just to take it a step farther, is it possible? We know that Syria has chemical weapons. There's no question about that. Is it possible that down the road, Hezbollah is so emboldened as a result of the fact that they think they can do just a little bit more. Nobody can really explain the brazenness of their attacks over the last few days. Not to say that it will escalate farther. Hopefully diplomacy can solve all of this, and they'll be able to put Hezbollah in the position where they can't harm their neighbors. But right here as the sun's rising on a Tuesday morning, Greta, there really aren't signs of that.
You know, the Israelis seem so used to this. When you talk to them, do they act like this is sort of business as usual? Or, I mean, to me, it'd be terrifying.
Well, to me, it would be terrifying, too. I was speaking to people at the only grocery store open in Naharia today. That's the spot where our own Mike Tobin was reporting on Friday and Saturday with one Katyusha rocket coming in after another. 2 people killed in an apartment. Another one knocks out a building, knocks out a market down below, a house just down the street. The main streets are closed down. 80% of the people have gone out of the town, and yet the people who remain are saying, look, we're used to this. We knew this was coming. We've known this since the year 2000 when Israel pulled out of Lebanon. They knew that Hezbollah was going to be a problem, that this fledgling democracy was not going to be able to put it down. They knew there was going to come a point where things came to blows. They've been saying it for 6 solid years. Well, now it's here. And to a man and to a woman, they'll say, in the past, when we've gone in to try to solve the terrorism problems across the border, somebody, the United Nations, the United States, someone in the Western world has come in and said, don't go all the way, use restraint. Israelis now believe that the time for restraint has passed, that they have to put this problem down. But, Greta, you have to look at this from both sides of the border. The enemy here is not the people of Lebanon. The enemy is Hezbollah. The friend within this region is this fledgling democracy over in Lebanon. The last thing they want to see is a country that's spent billions of dollars rebuilding over the past 5-10 years and putting things back almost to a pre-Civil War footing, to see that country fall apart as a result of Hezbollah. But on this side of the border, they just don't see any other way to accomplish that.
Shep, thank you. And of course, Shep will be live from the war zone every single day, anchoring the Fox Report and Studio B this week. And now, from Israel to Beirut, joining us from Beirut, Lebanon, Fox's Greg Palcott. Greg, tell me about what's going on in Lebanon.
Well, Greta, we are in a very, very good position to tell you what is going on with the Israeli military here in Lebanon, and they have been very, very active for the past 5 hours or so. We are here in the center of Beirut. To one side, we have the port facilities, which have been a target of the Israeli military for the past several nights. To the other side, one of the Hezbollah strongholds, and for the past several hours, we've been hearing the very distinct roar of Israeli jet fighter planes. And we have been hearing explosions, blasts that are linked to bombs coming from those planes, also blasts which could very well be linked to missiles being launched from ships out at sea off of the coast here in Beirut. And, of course, in the past 24 hours, the Israeli military has been very active as well, very active against a variety of targets linked either politically or strategically, in the view of the Israeli military, to the Hezbollah militia here in Lebanon, and civilians also caught in the crossfire here in Lebanon. 9 civilians killed, 1 family in a blast at an apartment house in the coastal town of Tyre, just to the south of here, along the coast here from Beirut. And as I found out when I went to a border crossing between Lebanon and Syria, this has caused a lot of people here to flee. Take a look.
Shelling, artillery, missiles, and rockets. These folks here are leaving the country. They're often having trouble getting out, but they're using one of the only passable roads out of the country to leave to Syria to safety.
We're trying to get out of Lebanon.
Why?
Because of all the bombing that's going on. It's very close. We're all scared. My kids, they were crying all night yesterday.
What was the bombing like?
You know what? Actually, the window broke on them.
Greta, the national governments are ramping up here. They're trying in a more active, more organized way to help with the possible evacuation right now and in the future. We saw a group of Italians go out today, and you've got big numbers here of passport-carrying folks. That is, 10,000 people here are carrying British passports. 20,000 are carrying French passports. 25,000 are carrying U.S. passports. And even in the past 2 days, we've seen the first group of humanitarian cases involving people carrying American passports. We could be seeing a lot more planning. The latest word we're getting is that things are not getting any better, according to the Arab television, which we've also been monitoring as we've been up here on the rooftop, monitoring the skies and looking out to the coast. Arab television is saying that, in fact, southern Beirut positions have been hit by the Israeli military. 2 Lebanese military positions have been hit, and perhaps another case of a large group of civilian casualties. The claim, at least, on one Arab television network that we've been monitoring is that 13 civilians were killed in one hit. But again, a very, very strong sign that the Israeli military is not giving up. Very, very active here as dawn breaks over Beirut. Back to you, Greta.
Greg, thank you. Can we get 25,000 Americans out of that war zone? The evacuation has begun, but there are thousands more who still need to be transported to safety. And there are warnings, serious warnings. Do not try to get out on your own. Heading into Syria is not an option. That's what the State Department says. Joined us by phone from Beirut, Lebanon, is Heather Bentrum, a college student studying at the American University in Beirut. Heather, you joined us 24 hours ago. What's been going on in the last 24 hours?
Hi, Greta. In the last 24 hours, there has been an increase in bombing, and we were told not to leave campus gate. So I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
Most of the students have just stayed within their dormitories.
Are you ready to leave?
I am ready to leave. I think that the situation is worsening, and although I feel that the campus here is in an area that is relatively safe, I don't think it will stay that way for much longer.
What is your plan?
My plan? My plan is just to await further notice from the embassy and to follow the orders that they will give to us. And we really don't have any notice notice ahead of time. Maybe I think they will give us a 1-hour notice.
And is the reason for the 1-hour notice, is that a security issue? Have you been told that?
Yes, we've been told it's a security issue.
Have you been speaking to your family? Because I imagine your family continues to be worried.
Yes, I've been speaking to different members of family through email and through phone calls, but today it has been especially difficult to get through on the cell phone. I've had many dropped calls.
Where do you expect to go? To Cyprus and then on to the United States? Is that at least you know that much information?
We are pretty positive that Cyprus is the destination we will be evacuated to.
Heather, good luck.
Thank you.
Americans trapped in Lebanon must be ready to evacuate at a moment's notice. There are reports today that 43 Americans were evacuated by helicopter to Cyprus. That, in addition to the 21 Americans that got out already. And a short time ago, we went to the State Department to find out exactly how the State Department handles and coordinates this monumental task of getting as many as 25,000 Americans out of there. Fox is the only news organization where you will get to see the inside of this organization, the Operations Center of the State Department. There are 3 task forces in all at the State Department. We asked Task Force Coordinator William Jordan what his focus is.
Well, right now I'm trying to help make sure the flow of information is correct on the various assets we're trying to mobilize to go in and bring Americans out.
This is the State Department Operations Center Task Force room.
There are apparently 3 different rooms set up for this particular crisis?
Correct. We have one that's the main overall task force providing the policy leadership. There's a second task force room that's focusing on the needs and inquiries of American citizens. And then there's a third task force working the logistics of lining up assets that we can use to evacuate Americans that are...
Who are these people talking to?
They're talking to our embassies in the region. We're talking to our interagency colleagues, mostly with the Defense Department, either the overseas combatant commands or the Pentagon. We're also talking to the press from time to time and taking a lot of calls from American citizens in the room right next door.
Is the main point of this operation to help the evacuation of about 25,000 Americans, or are there other purposes here?
The main purpose here is to work with facilitating the departure of those Americans who want to leave. We estimate that there are as many as 25,000 American citizens in Lebanon, and we also estimate that roughly 4,000 to 5,000 of them will seek our assistance in departing Lebanon.
When did you first get word of the fact that you had to get these rooms in operation this time?
On Friday.
When was the last time we had such a load on sort of the State Department to evacuate people?
I think probably the tsunami was the last biggest thing that we had. It's the biggest thing since then.
Same kind of operation, essentially?
Similar kind of operation. And as I was mentioning to you earlier, what you see in this room is not everything that we have. You have to have a security clearance to work in here, so there is another off-site location where we have a call center where you don't have to have a security clearance, where we have many more people answering phones.
I suspect, and maybe you'll tell me, but I suspect that you can't tell the families too much information because you don't want to create any sort of security risk getting people out of the country.
Well, that's right, we don't, but we also want to be sure that what we tell the families is 100% accurate, and so we're very careful that we don't go beyond a certain point and speculate.
There's a third room. Can you
Yes,
see
there
the
is.
third room?
Absolutely.
Now, in this third room, Task Force 3, they're making the arrangements for the actual transportation. Who do they actually talk to?
There's two main types of parties we talk to. We're working very closely with the U.S. Transportation Command, which is part of the Defense Department. And then with them, we're working with a wide range of private cruise shipping companies in the Mediterranean area, trying to line up various cruise ships of various sizes that can go into Lebanon and take out those who want to depart.
I take it the ones who most likely want to leave are the tourists, the students, those who don't have any sort of permanent, or haven't established themselves very permanently in Lebanon.
Yes, also folks that have medical issues. There's some unaccompanied minors, a number of students, most of the categories you mentioned.
Coming up, people are dying, the number is growing. When will the war end? And if it does, will it just start up again? Will Hezbollah regroup and re-attack? Former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak joins us next. And later, can you imagine sirens roaring and racing to hide your children 20 feet below the surface? If you lived in Israel, you might be doing that right now. We will take you deep inside a bomb shelter in Israel where children are living out this violent war. You will see exactly what it's like.
Because Fox is where the news is.
A 6-speed short-throw gearbox, a sport-tuned suspension. Start making summer memories fast. The Mercedes-Benz Summer Event. See your local authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for a great lease offer on a 2006 C230 sports sedan.
Interest rates keep climbing, and so are your monthly payments. Refinance your adjustable rate mortgage with LendingTree and save as much as $250 a month. Call 1-800-555-TREE now to lower your monthly payments. When banks compete, you win. Rates are climbing higher, and so are your interest payments. Refinance your adjustable rate mortgage with LendingTree and save up to $3,000 a year. Call 1-800-555-TREE now before rates climb even higher. When banks compete, you win.
What's it like to be our guest? It's a place to relax and a place to rejuvenate. It's finding what you need to get going every day and getting lost in a bestseller. It's knowing a clean, comfortable room is always waiting for you. But most of all, it's feeling like you're a guest in our home. Country Inns and Suites by Carlson. Be our guest.
Are oil companies thinking ahead?
Oil companies have an obligation to try to develop things to be cleaner, safer, and better for the environment. And if that means expanding their product line to have alternative types of fuels, whether it be wind, hydrogen, solar, whatever it may be. And I'm not an engineer, so I don't have the answer.
There's a company that builds more than 1 million vehicles a year in places called Indiana and Kentucky. One that has 10 plants, from the foothills of West Virginia to the Pacific coastline. What company is this? Toyota. A company that, along with its dealers and suppliers, has helped create hundreds of thousands of U.S. jobs. A company proud to do its small part to add to the landscape of America.
You can really see the difference at Willamette View, Portland's premier accredited senior residence. You'll love the lifestyle and the views from our landscaped acreage on the Willamette River. A variety of activities, social, cultural, and wellness programs, and involved and vibrant residents are at the center of this senior community. Come see our newly renovated apartment options and discover the difference for yourself. Come see why Willamette View got its name.
Not long ago, cable didn't even exist. Now, cable brings us new, innovative fiber optic technology each day, not each decade.
United States Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice will head to the war-torn Middle East as violence grows worse each day. And today, a big development. Israeli ground troops enter southern Lebanon and attack Hezbollah bases near the border and then quickly return to Israel. Meanwhile, Hezbollah rockets are striking farther into Israel, and today, Israel destroys one of those long-range missiles that has the capability of reaching Tel Aviv, according to the Israeli army. And a short time ago, we spoke to former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak about the escalation of the violence. Mr. Prime Minister, thank you very much for joining us. And in sort of looking at this, it appears, if there is a starting point, that it's June 25th when the Palestinian militants went into the Gaza Strip, killed 2 Israeli soldiers and kidnapped 1. Why did this happen then? Is it an accident of fate, or is this part of a deliberate plan?
It was a deliberate plan on the Palestinian side to abduct soldiers. But from our point of view, it was the kind of accumulation point, the kind of a breaking point where after months of having a barrage of small caliber rockets on Sderot and other cities and villages around Gaza Strip, we have to respond. You know, we cannot accept the after Sharon order, the pullout from Gaza to the last square inch, all the settlers, all the soldiers out of Gaza. We cannot accept these abductions and rockets attacks from this area.
Well, it's interesting that the Prime Minister Ehud Olmert said that this will stop if a couple things happen. One is that Hezbollah frees the 2 captured soldiers they have. Another is that the rocket attacks on Israel stop. And the third is that the Lebanese army is deployed to the border, which sort of almost puts you back to June 25th with the exception of the Lebanese army. So you're not asking for a whole lot at this point, it seems.
No, it's exactly following the joint statement of G8, which basically said the same. I was a prime minister when we pulled out from Lebanon 6 years ago to the last square inch following a UN Security Council resolution 425. Since then, 1559. It's time for the international community to impose upon the Lebanese government and their Syrian supporters to comply with the UN Security Council resolutions. If they do not do it and keep attacking Israel, the only demand we can put is that the soldiers will be released, the abducted soldiers, that the armed forces of Lebanon will be deployed to the border of Israel, and that the Katyusha and rocket systems of the Hezbollah will be dismantled and demolished.
But it seems to me that even if you get what you're asking for, it just puts us back to where we were. What makes you even think that this is not going to start up again in a month, 2 months, 3 months?
No, it won't. We destroyed a major part of the infrastructure of Hezbollah. If the army of Lebanon will be deployed to the border, you won't have these daily skirmishes along the border that ignited this new eruption of violence along the Lebanese border. And if Hezbollah will be dismantled or transformed into a fully political body, you know, there is abnormalities that no one in New York would have heard of in Lebanon, namely a party that has its representatives in parliament and government, but at the same time they have a militia with weapons that shoot rockets at a neighboring sovereign whenever they want. That's something we cannot accept, and we will never ever yield to terror. We announced it, period.
Well, I realize that you're inflicting a tremendous amount of damage on Hezbollah, and the hope is that you will destroy the terrorist aspect of it so that they're not going to do it again. But this seems to be a group that sort of revitalizes itself. It may be destroyed or damaged now, but it's almost like they seem to regroup and get right back up and start doing it again.
You know, when I pulled out from Lebanon, they already had 7,000 rockets with more than 100 heavy rockets that could reach south of Haifa even then. But we got 6 years of tranquility. And now it erupted once again. So first of all, if we will have a relaxation, tranquility until 2013, it would be quite an achievement. But we try to achieve more than this and put for one and forever an end to this deployment of rockets in Lebanon. I think the basic attribute of any sovereign, legitimate sovereign, is the monopoly of the use of weapons. We cannot accept someone who shoots at us at will from the other side of the border, and it's time to the government of Lebanon to begin to govern. And if it is not doing it, we have to take our weapons in hand and respond.
Many people seem to think that this is driven a lot by Syria and also by Iran. I mean, doesn't the sort of solution have to include at least those two countries agreeing to it in part if they're stirring up trouble or supplying weapons or facilitating it in any way?
We are interested in a bottom line. When the soldiers are freed, the Lebanese army deployed and the rockets demolished, it's okay with us. But of course there is a great opportunity for the international community, represented right now by the G8 in St. Petersburg, to follow UN Security Council resolutions 1559 and 425, from the last one from just 15 months ago. And the same way that the international community, headed by President Bush, coerced President Assad of Syria to pull out from Lebanon just a little bit more than a year ago, now the time comes for the Americans, the Russians, the French, British, and Kofi Annan of the United Nations to demand loud and clear from Syria to stop its backing of Hezbollah and put an end to this violence. I think that when the G8 are trying to coerce Kim Jong-il of North Korea or the Ayatollahs in Tehran into compliance with the international community will, it's much simpler and probably more beneficial in the short term to do the same with the weak government of Lebanon and very weak ruler, dictator in Damascus.
Do you think those countries really care for if they are condemned or if the G8 says anything about them, any sort of verbal statement like stop doing it? Do you think that really has the teeth to accomplish something?
I think that they do not care. If it ends up with statements, it won't work. But if they will feel the courage of conviction and the determination behind the international will, if Bush and Putin, Chirac and Blair and the Merkel and the others will join hands and tell them that's what we expect you to do, that's part of the UN Security Council resolution, we expect you to comply. They will have in their situation right now, very weak one, to consider it very, very seriously. And if you cannot do it with weak Bashar Assad in Damascus and Fouad Signore in Beirut, no way to do it with the Ayatollahs in Iran or with Kim Jong-il in North Korea.
Here's a look at what's coming up after this show on the O'Reilly Factor.
Greta, we have a real lively debate about what to do in the Middle East. And did you know marriage, heterosexual marriage, is declining in America? Coming up.
Didn't know that about marriage. 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And coming up, what is going on right now in Israel? We go back live to Israel. And later, when the shelling starts in Israel, parents get panicked and stash their children deep below the ground in a bomb shelter. We're going to take you inside an Israeli bomb shelter where some families are hiding right now.
At Ford, we're developing new technologies to reduce our country's dependence on foreign oil and help you save money at the pump. We were the first American automaker to offer a hybrid. This year, we'll have 250,000 E85 ethanol vehicles that run on fuel grown in the heartland. And today, Ford Motor Company has a dozen models that get at least 30 miles a gallon. While we can't control the price of gasoline, we're innovating to reduce the need.
Hello, I'm a Mac. Hello, I'm a PC. We have a lot in common these days. We both run Microsoft Office. We share files. It's great. We just get along. PC. Yep. Okay. Hi, I'm a PC. Okay, we're past that. We moved beyond that. Yeah, I had to restart there. You know how it is. No, actually, I don't. Oh, what? Macs don't have to. We had him, then we lost him. I'm gonna go get IT. Keep an eye on him.
Isn't freedom a wonderful thing? I'm Lou Gentine of Sargento Cheese. And our Sargento Deli slices make it easy for you to enjoy the authentic flavors of sliced deli cheese without standing in line at the deli. Sargento, our family's passion is cheese.
Women, at last, a breakthrough to heighten your sexual intimacy. Introducing Zestra for Women. Zestra is the all-natural way for women to heighten their sexual arousal and enhance their intimacy. It's not a drug and contains no hormones. It's a patented blend of all-natural botanical oils clinically proven to heighten sexual arousal and pleasure in women. Arouse your sexuality with Zestra for you and your relationship.
I wish we had a big house.
Well, I wish we had an affordable house.
Ours?
Find your perfect place. It's easy at Remax.com. Now Remax.com offers more home listings to choose from than ever before. Nobody sells more real estate than Remax.
Work with that left hand.
Thanks for the jest, Mom.
Simple, everyday moments can be the perfect time to talk to your kids about not smoking. So you don't have to plan a big discussion.
Look, there's a dragonfly on one of the roller coasters.
Is your leg? A little moment will do just fine. Talk to your kids about not smoking.
Smoking cigarettes can hurt your game too.
They'll listen.
Don't worry, Dad. I won't.
For conversation starters, log on to philipmorrisusa.com.
For design to be truly inspired, it must be more than just artful. It must perform beautifully too. Test drive the 298 horsepower Infiniti G35 sedan at the Infiniti Limited Engagement Summer Event. But don't wait too long. The Infiniti Limited Engagement ends July 31st.
An airstrike sent shockwaves through southern Beirut. The explosions felt throughout Beirut, and Hezbollah rocket strike ripping into a three-story apartment building in the northern Israeli city of Haifa today. And a suicide bomber prevented in downtown Jerusalem after a 25-year-old Palestinian man is caught carrying a bomb in his bag, 11.2 pounds of explosives. Police say he was planning to blow himself up. It is not clear if he's connected to any Palestinian terror organization. So what's happening right now in Israel? Let's go straight to Fox News anchor Bill Hemmer, who is live in Kiryat Shimona. Bill, what have you seen and done today?
Moments ago, Greta, the town behind me is Kiryat Shimona. Up on the hill behind me is the border that separates Israel from Lebanon. And moments ago, nighttime flares going up in the air trying to locate Hezbollah positions in southern Lebanon. The day is breaking here, day 7 for this conflict. Will get underway shortly, and throughout the night, no let-up in the amount of barrage and munitions leaving northern Israel and firing into southern Lebanon. We had a very busy day, as you can imagine, 3 days now in northern Israel, and that barrage has been literally nonstop. I tell you one thing that is very significant in the change in this conflict, Greta, and that is this for the Israelis. For the first time in this conflict with Hezbollah, going back years, towns like Haifa and Nazareth and Tiberias are no longer off limits. They are no longer out of the range of Hezbollah rockets and missiles. And I was just listening to your report there with Ehud Barak, and he was saying that 6 years ago he knew that they had the capability then to reach towns like Haifa and Nazareth and Tiberias. But for the Israelis to see it, that has certainly changed the game, if for no other reason psychologically, in this current battle. Now, as we mentioned that and move into the day a little bit later today, you know, there is a wide open question too, Greta, about what further is the ability of Hezbollah. Do they have the capability? Do they have these missiles, as Israel reported earlier today, that may strike towns like Tel Aviv? Tel Aviv is about 75 miles south of the Lebanese border. It is by far and away the largest city in the entire country of Israel. Entire metro population there, about 2.7 million. If Tel Aviv is hit by a missile, and again, we have not gone there just yet, but if that happens, how then will the rules change in this current conflict, Greta?
Bill, if we don't know if Hezbollah has a missile that can hit Tel Aviv, what about Syria and Iran? Because there's an awful lot of suspicion that those two are behind and helping Hezbollah.
Yeah, and no evidence to suggest that indeed that has taken place just yet. But if you caught this report on Monday, where the Israeli military is saying that they hit this truckload of missiles, and inside that truck there was one Iranian-made missile, they claim, that had the ability to stretch about 150 kilometers, which would give it the ability to strike the town of Tel Aviv. And again, that is a report on the Israeli side. Hezbollah is denying that. To date, Greta, 210 dead in Lebanon, mostly civilians north of the border. In Israel, the death toll at this point is 24. Earlier today, we were in a kibbutz here in northern Israel, and these are all over the area up here in northern Israel. Agricultural areas, too. Went inside these bunkers and these bomb shelters. 24 in this kibbutz alone. They don't stay there all night or all day, only when it's required, but it is there if necessary. And at this point, at times, it has been just that, Greta, necessary.
All right, Bill, thank you. Bill, of course, will be live at the scene with all the latest as news breaks every day at noon Eastern and right here on Fox News Channel. And coming up, military strikes hit Haifa, Israel's third biggest city, and they hit hard. We'll check in live for the latest news breaking right now in that region. And it's hard to imagine, but right now, young Israeli children hiding in bomb shelters almost a week. What's it like? You'll know you're going there.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Harris Faulkner. A rising death toll after a tsunami slammed into Indonesia. More than 170 people now reported dead. The massive tidal wave crashed into beach resorts and fishing villages following a 7.7 magnitude quake that happened underwater. Dozens of people missing. News of the disaster sparked panic across the region, but there are no reports of injuries or damage in any other country. UN Secretary General Kofi Annan wants money to help keep the peace in Sudan's troubled Darfur region. Annan set to co-chair a conference hosted by the European Union aimed at making sure a shaky peace deal between the Sudanese government and one of Darfur's rebel groups takes hold. They say more cash is needed to sustain the African Union peacekeepers there. A psychiatrist testifying at the murder retrial of Andrea Yates says Yates was so ashamed after drowning her children she avoided her husband when he arrived home. The doctor saying that's one of the some 60 examples showing Yates knew the killings were wrong. She was convicted in 2002, but that conviction was overturned due to faulty witness testimony. Mystery writer Mickey Spillane has died. He created the character Detective Mike Hammer. Spillane wrote more than a dozen books, including The Killing Man and The Girl Hunters. Many of them were made into movies. Mickey Spillane, dead at 88. I'll see you for the next news break in about a half hour. On the Record with Greta continues.
Up next on The Record, we go back live to Israel for the latest, and then inside a bomb shelter in Israel where children are hiding right now. And later, why was the Lebanon-Israeli border once called the Good Fence? We'll explain.
You see a complex shipping industry. At Franklin Templeton, we saw a chance to invest in a logistics company whose technology streamlined shipping operations. A smart move for our fund shareholders. Perspective like this has made Franklin a leading equity manager. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective. Ask your advisor for a prospectus with investment goals, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing.
A 7-speed automatic transmission, a 268 horsepower engine. Start a summer romance that lasts a lifetime. The Mercedes-Benz Summer Event. See your local authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for a great lease offer on a powerful 2006 E350 sedan.
Yo, yes, you're excited. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking Beneful. You've never seen anything like it before. It has wholesome grains, real beef, even carrots and peas. So there's carbohydrates for energy and protein for those serious muscles. And you even get some vegetables.
So happy.
Love it so much you only think you're getting spoiled.
Yes, you do. But it's good for you, too.
Healthful, flavorful, Beneful. Beneful brand by Purina.
We've been to Cape Cod, Jersey Shore, East Coast Beach Tour,
Bloomington, Huntington, family reunion,
Ghost Town, Old West, get a load of mom's dress,
Florida, Kissimmee, polka dot bikini,
Comfort Inn, Breakfast Street, finally it's not a me.
Mountains, Wheel Room, don't feel like going home.
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere.
To get 3 free nights at these Choice hotels, get the no annual fee Choice Privileges Visa credit card. For reservations and more details, visit choicehotels.com. Choice Hotels. We'll see you there.
Pure Dell. It's an uncomplicated approach to creating more loyal customers. With enterprise database solutions, you can scale as you grow, and they all run on new Dell PowerEdge servers, featuring the reliability of dual-core Intel Xeon processors, which makes everything easy to manage. So you spend less time minding your servers and more time minding the store. That's the direct path to success. That's pure Dell.
When it comes to good health, heart disease is a common enemy.
My mother has heart disease. Will I develop it too?
How can I prevent heart disease? Are there new medicines available?
For answers, ask your doctor or visit these websites. Researchers at America's pharmaceutical companies are working on 146 new medicines to fight heart disease and strokes, partnering with healthcare providers to better inform patients about treatment options. Go online and learn, because knowledge is the best medicine of all.
Dad, is it just over the ridge?
What's over there?
The kids are growing up, and retirement is getting closer. Will we be ready? Really ready? As in, we don't have to live out here in the woods and eat berries ready?
For 150 years, people have been working with Northwestern Mutual to put their minds at ease. Northwestern Mutual. Insurance, investments, ideas.
This Your World update is brought to you by Northwestern Mutual, the quiet company.
Tonight on Your World, more rockets fired into Israel from Lebanon. Former Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu on whether Israel's response is tough enough. A PLO official who says it's too tough. And former House Speaker Newt Gingrich on if this is the start of World War III. Stock hanging tough, the Dow up 8 points. All that and legendary broadcaster Art Linkletter. That's tonight on Your World.
Hezbollah rocket strike exploding a 3-story apartment building in the northern Israeli city of Haifa today. What is the scene like right now? Join us live from Haifa is Fox News correspondent Amy Kellogg. Amy, what's it like in Haifa these days?
Greta, it's very quiet in Haifa these days. It's normally a bustling city. As you mentioned, it's Israel's 3rd largest city. So there's normally a lot of traffic in the mornings, a lot of restaurants and stores open until late into the evening. And it's just not that way now. I wouldn't classify it as a ghost town, as some of the more northern towns really are. But it is definitely not its usual self. We drove around this evening, and there weren't a lot of people on the streets, and a lot of stores and restaurants were closed. That said, that there were some that were open and doing business. There were some people out and about and curious to see what was going on. But basically, it's a very different place.
What about the infrastructure? Does it have power? Is it getting hit hard?
They shut the port today because of security concerns, so I don't know exactly what the ramifications of that will be, but that clearly will affect certain industries that are relying on goods that are imported into that very major port. But electricity is intact, everything is intact. The only thing is that the city has been hit in the last few days, and on Sunday, as you know, it was hit in a very deadly way with 8 people dying in a train depot. So life is interrupted, life is nervous and edgy here. Things are functioning, but people are just not as willing to go out and do their daily thing as they normally would be, and that's understandable. The sirens, as you're probably aware of now, Greta, from all the reports you've been getting from across the region, the sirens sound every time there's an incoming rocket, and when that happens, theoretically, you are supposed to go to a bomb shelter. It happens so often that I don't think most people are doing that, but you're meant to take cover. It's incredibly disruptive and incredibly nerve-wracking, of course, and frightening, Greta.
And of course, you're hearing that all the time, and all our colleagues are hearing that in all their locations where they are. It is terrifying and devastating as well. Amy, thank you. There is fear that Hezbollah rockets might be capable of striking as far into Israel as Tel Aviv. Israeli families are scared, and for good reason. Many people, especially those with children, head to bomb shelters as soon as the fighting starts. Fox News anchor Shep Smith went inside one of these shelters, but first he took a closer look at the front lines on the border of Lebanon and Israel.
This is Kiryat Shmona, right along the border with Lebanon. In fact, they're shelling directly over the mountains here into Lebanon. This is the Israeli Green Army, and they get coordinates from intelligence. Then they begin to fire them off one after another. It's a deafening blow. This is maybe 300 yards we are from them right now. And one after another after another. This has been going on for 5-6 days now, but this particular group came in just yesterday as sort of reinforcements. We're up on a hill where there are soldiers who are protecting this area. We're not going to show them to you now, but they have a dug-in sort of fortress which has been here since the '67 war. Today, it's Hezbollah on the other side of the mountain, and the Israeli Green Army shells day and night. We're now at an apartment complex in the shadow of the shelling. That's that same mountain range. That's Lebanon on the other side of that. And this is the entrance to a fallout shelter. It's probably from the '67 war, if not before. Kids and parents sort of hanging out. They've just brought some fresh food up for the people who are living down there over the past 5 or 6 days. We're going to go down below ground about 20 feet. And as we do, the temperature is going to drop precipitously from in the low 90s up there to probably a comfortable 70s for the kids. They're living in here. Manishma, shalom. And there they are. For 6 days now, these kids have been living in this fallout shelter. Up here and to the right, that's their entertainment. Some fans blowing to try to keep people from getting too hot. And then over here, TV for the adults. Constant and unending reminders of what's happening up above them. Hear people sleep and sort of really just waste away the day to hear it from the locals. None of these speak English, but they tell us this is something we've understood for generations. The shelling starts, Hezbollah comes in, begins causing problems, and again there's war. And these are the youngest to now begin to understand it. It's impossible for those of us who've not lived here to understand. Certainly it is for them so far too. Hopefully this time they'll be able to figure out a way to make it end, but there are no real signs of that.
Of course, you know Shep is live from Israel all week, right here on Fox News Channel on the Fox Report and Studio B. And coming up, another big worry for Israel. How close is Hezbollah's rocket launch site to Israel? We'll take you right there next so you can see for yourself. And later, the 7th day of fighting begins. What is expected? What is feared? We're going to tell you.
We put the world in context.
Honesty, privacy, respect, and great rates. That's why people who use eLoan are spreading the word. Those are just some of the revolutionary ways we're changing the lending industry. eLoan, radically simple.
Part of you wants to learn about menopause. Part of you has no time for research. Visit KnowMenopause.com because part of you wants to understand the hot flashes and moodiness. All of you wants to know more. Check out KnowMenopause.com.
Hi, you want to save money on gas? How about 10%? Get the Marathon Platinum MasterCard from Chase and receive a 10% rebate for the first 60 days. That's about 25 cents a gallon. Then save 5% after that. Here's an application.
Sure.
Thanks. I gotta go. I need it on pump 5.
This is it, the Ford Model Year Clearance. It's the final days to drive on us with 0% financing, plus we pay for your gas until 2007. It's your last chance for 0% financing, plus we pay for your gas until 2007. You don't want to miss the biggest savings of the year on new 2006 F-150s, Rangers, and Super Duties. It's the final days. You only have until July 31st to drive on us during Ford Model Year Clearance.
Take the Hyundai Challenge during the Hyundai Challenge Summer Clearance. Test drive the sedan that beats Honda Accord. The new Hyundai Sonata with more standard safety features and interior space than Accord. Great fuel mileage and America's best warranty for $4,500 less than Accord. Now save even more, up to $3,000 cash back on Sonata. There's never been a better time to save thousands during the Hyundai Challenge Summer Clearance. Get a new Sonata V6 with up to $3,000 cash back at your local Hyundai dealer. Offer ends July 31st.
Have found a new alternative to old-fashioned, high-priced, classified help wanted ads. They're using PortlandJobFinder.com.
We've had great results using PortlandJobFinder.com. It's cost-effective, and there's a great resume flow. We particularly like the online submission of resumes so that we can review and properly screen the prospects.
There are no deadlines and no waiting for tomorrow's newspaper. Find the job applicants you need fast. It's free for job seekers and good for business.
.com helps people find the car they want at a dealer near them. How do we improve that user experience?
Include a vanity mirror so people can get an idea of how they look in their new car. Give them a free VHIX comb, too.
And your idea?
VHIX TV. Not just web pages. Cool video test drives powered by Wheels TV.
Cool video test drives now at VHIX.com. Just click Autos on Comcast.net.
Portland's only half-hour newscast at 10. Provided by the best news team in Portland, Northwest News Channel 8. Every night at 10 on Portland's WB. Get breaking news from around the city, the country, and the world. Plus, up-to-the-minute weather from meteorologist Matt Zaffino. Northwest News Channel 8 at 10 on Portland's WB, the 10 o'clock choice.
At 7, see the action. Romance at 11.
Exciting, isn't it? It is exciting.
Seinfeld, weeknights at 7 and 11 on Portland's WB.
Hezbollah says today it will not stop attacking, warning this is the beginning. Beware of our cyclone. And Israel is still fighting back for a seventh day. The death toll staggering. Reports say more than 230 people have died in Lebanon and Israel since fighting began on Wednesday. In Lebanon, at least 210 have been killed and more than 410 wounded, according to the Lebanese military and the national police. And in Israel, 24 people dead, 9 soldiers, and nearly 300 civilians wounded. Let's go live to Fox News correspondent Jennifer Griffin, who is standing by on the border of Lebanon and Israel. Jennifer?
Hi, Greta. Right now we have a barrage of Katyushas coming in, so you'll excuse me if I stop. But we did go right up to the border today. You can hear that coming in right now, Greta. We don't know where it's landing, but it's not far from where we are right now. We went right up to the border today to look over to the Lebanese side. It's just a couple miles up the road. And what's really striking, Greta, is that you still see Hezbollah flags flying over positions that their fighters held just a few days ago. What's also striking is just how close these sides are to each other. You've got the Hezbollah fighters. They were really eyeball to eyeball with the Israeli soldiers and the Israeli residents living up there along the fence. Right now we are on the Israeli side of the Lebanese border. This is literally the border right here, this road. If you look up in the hill there, just a few hundred yards from where we're standing, those are Hezbollah positions. That is where they fire from, fire into northern Israel at these communities here. They fire on the farmers. They also fire Katyusha rockets just on the other side here. This used to be known as the Good Fence. It was called that because Lebanese workers used to be allowed to come across and work in Israeli farms and fields. In the year 2000, when the Israeli forces pulled out of South Lebanon, pulled back after 18 years of occupation, that all ended. Some say that if the Lebanese government had deployed the army in this southern part of Lebanon and not allowed Hezbollah to fill the vacuum there, this conflict never would have occurred. Greta, there is even a UN Security Council resolution that deals with this, 1559, but as I mentioned, it was never implemented. Now, Israel is using this opportunity before the brakes are put on by the U.S. and the international community in order to destroy Hezbollah positions and in order to push the Lebanese government and the UN to neutralize Hezbollah once and for all. Now, I remember standing up here 6 years ago, Greta, at this very same spot on this very same border for the Israeli withdrawal from Lebanon after those long 18 years there. That was back in 2000. It was over in just a matter of hours. The last Israeli soldier crossed, but even then, Greta, there were signs that both sides would go head-to-head again in the future. At the time, Greta, I remember standing at the fence and watching the Hezbollah supporters celebrating on the other side. They were shooting into the air. Everyone had their hands up like this. I was new to the region at the time, and I was with my Israeli colleagues, and I turned to them, I said, isn't that great? They're all making the sign for peace. And they laughed at me, and they said, no, that's a sign for victory. The Hezbollah supporters at that time were so emboldened, and the Israelis that I talked to knew that they would be coming back. Once I interviewed, at that time, I interviewed Hezbollah fighters just across the fence, and they told me that they weren't going to stop until they got to Jerusalem. Greta?
And we still may see more of that even after this battle. Jennifer, thank you. Coming up, warplanes screech overhead in Lebanon and rockets explode in Israel. It's day 7 in the war zone in the Middle East. What it's like to be right in the middle of the chaos.
Start a summer romance that lasts a lifetime. The Mercedes-Benz Summer Event. Cruise into your local authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for great lease and financing offers on select models.
We prepared for everything. But not this. Follow me. Stay together.
I got it, Sarge.
So he did go down there. And did he go in the buildings?
I got 2 cops found in the middle of the rubble, still alive. We'll make it well. We're not leaving you. You are our mission.
World Trade Center. Rated PG-13. August 9th.
Hey, look at me. Lock in. Crusher here has an extra deltoid muscle. Means he's got exponentially greater bucking propulsion. Now you lean back and you hang on. I'll be there.
New rodeo clowns are a lifesaver.
Rodeo clown? No, I'm with the birthday party. Hello, Jimmy! Oh, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Stay smart. Stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
Imagine you had a great idea and shared it with the world. To make it a better place. To make it cleaner and quieter. To make people more comfortable. Businesses more successful. The world more connected. Would an idea that great ever fly? It will, and like nothing else. Boeing, forever new frontiers.
This is Carol. She's been called hippie, preppy, yuppie, protester, Democrat, Republican, mom, CFO, CEO, cancer patient, cancer survivor, fundraiser, spokesperson, caregiver, and soon-to-be world traveler. Reaching retirement is no small achievement. We'll help you make the most of it. Fidelity Retirement Income Advantage. Is your retirement on track? Find out in about 30 minutes. Call today, 1-800-FIDELITY. Smart move.
Office Depot, a leader in mobile technology, can build a notebook computer to the most important specs of all, yours. Office Depot will customize a notebook to help you go wireless wherever your work life takes you. Now build an HP Pavilion with Intel Centrino mobile technology and an all-in-one printer starting at $499.99 after mail-in and instant savings.
Lincoln Mercury has some of America's hottest selling new models. And to celebrate, every 2006 Mercury car, SUV, and minivan has the hottest deals of the summer during the Lincoln Mercury Celebration Clearance. Get the 32 MPG Milan, winner of the Best Midsize Car Award. Now lease Milan with 0 first month's payment, 0 down, and 0 cash due at $257 a month. Don't miss the Lincoln Mercury Celebration Clearance.
After 7 days of fighting, Hezbollah dismisses proposition for a ceasefire unless it's unconditional. And with that, another day of bloodshed and more casualties. Thank you for being with us tonight. We'll see you all again tomorrow. Until then,